It's rather amazing. I am at the Madison, Illinois Maverick Yard on a Friday afternoon, well, 6:30 p.m. and I go back to work on Monday. Bing! So, just like this thumbs up, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Put a comment in there. I usually read every single comment. That's the way it works. Today was and something I fail always to mention. If my videos have helped you to determine to drive with Maverick Transportation, I'd appreciate it if you'd give my name as a referral when you apply, or give them a call before you show up. That'll work too. Today was completely the opposite of yesterday. In fact, I did not think I was going to make it back to this spot today. I thought I was going to be here tomorrow based on mileage and hours and everything, but yesterday was horrendous as far as shippers and receivers. Today was like the complete opposite. Had a load that delivered in Lansing, Michigan. That's where I started my day. In fact, I drove for 2 hours to Lansing, Michigan, dropped that off, and still made it back here. It's weird, and I still got time to spare on my clock. I don't know how that's even possible. Anyway, I drove to Lansing, Michigan, dropped off, what did I drop off there? 5 steel coils, all suicide or eye to the side, down the deck, and there was nobody else there to unload, so I was first in line. I pulled right into the bay where they instructed me to, untarped, unsecured everything, and they pulled it off and said, "There you go." And I was like, "Wow, that was pretty good start of the day." Used up an hour of my on-duty time to unload, and I got my next assignment. I already had that before I was done, and they said, "Hey, head on down and pick up the steel coil." And usually when I go to this location in Indiana, it's got 30 or so trucks parked there, all waiting to get a coil. And there was one truck there, and I was amazed. I was like, wait a minute, this can't be real. Maybe they're closed, and I don't know it. And I pulled in and called the shipper on my CB, let him know who I was, and I'm ready for my pickup. And they said, "Come on in, we're ready for you." And I was blown away. So I got loaded, secured, and tarped in under 45 minutes. And I'm like, wow, I might make it home from Indiana. For all the way, starting from driving to Lansing, Michigan, and then coming back to Madison, Illinois. There I am. I know, I'm too amazed at the way this worked out. The light, I don't know, I can't, it's hard for me. I'm looking at my phone and it really looks dark, but maybe you can, oftentimes I'm able to see this brighter on the computer. This is a 45,000 pound coil with 48,000 pounds worth of securement value on it. The tarp, this is a steel tarp, and it's bungeed up the way it is because the edges, the straight edge of the tarp, as you come off the top and come straight down to the deck, there's about a 1-inch gap on each side. And this coil has already got a plastic covering. It's got like a plastic tarp on it. It's got a canvas tarp on it, and it's got the vinyl steel tarp on it. So I've got 3 layers of protection on this steel coil. And you can kind of see how it's pinned down in the back. And I always secure the excess of my tarp in the front of the coil. The wind tends to keep it compressed, and it does really well. So when back to the short gap I had on each side, that usually I use this present wrapping technique. End up taking the rear portion that's usually tucked underneath the tarp and pull it out into a wedge shape. You can see how it disappears behind this piece here, and it's secured down here. And then I do the same thing with the front. I make a big wedge. It tends to go way up there. Comes on down, so the part that was uncovered underneath all of this is now covered. And when you do that though, you have to use a lot more bungees, which I don't mind. I've got a lot of them, to make sure you take out any of the what would you call it? The excess of the tarp that is remaining, in the sense that if I didn't put on all these bungees, this thing would be a big flapping balloon as I traveled down the road. But with putting these cross bungees around the, as you can see, I have a bungee that starts here and goes all the way around the front and it matches on the other side, pulling these. I try to pull the excess tight to the front from the back, and then the excess from the front, I'm strapping it around the back to hold the excess that way. And it keeps it nice and taut and prevents any type of excess flapping, which can lead to damage to your tarps, even though these are, this tarp has several patches on it already, and did really well. And now I get to go home on a Friday, which is awesome. Let me walk this way as steady as I can. There are bugs. There's my truck. I need to go pick that up so I can get what few items I need out of the truck, take it home, and start working on the house. I got to resurface some hardwood floors tomorrow. And somebody asked me a question about talking about the glass division. I don't know a whole lot about it, other than you drive the same kind of truck, but you have different trailers to haul different sizes of glass, and you get paid more. You get paid more per mile to haul glass. But the trade-off for that is you're out away from home longer. If that were not the case, I'd probably be doing glass because it pays more. But I like getting home every weekend, so I am in regional. That's where I'll stay. So everybody, you all have a good night. I'm gonna have a good night and a good weekend. Any questions? Put them in the description below. The description. No, that's where I put my information. Below the video, leave your comments and I'll answer any questions I can. Thanks.